Some advice that I would give people who are contemplating this and come to the point where it has to be done for their safety, just don't be alarmed. I know it was hard for us because we didn't want her to be upset, you know, and it wasn't an easy thing because going from a house that you lived in for 50 years to a new environment is hard. But even though you come and visit them and they get upset and they don't want to stay, try to know that it's going to be better.
My advice is patience with your loved one. Extremely important to be patient. I had a friend of mine that had a father that had Alzheimer's, and whenever his father would say something, you know, disturbing to him, he'd say to his father, "What a beautiful day it is outside, and how nice it is to be here," and just let it pass. These people have a serious problem going on in their mind, and all kinds of things that happen. Your job is to be enormously patient.
I had to travel from the far north of England with my mother. It was a trip I had great trepidation about. She behaved perfectly. Why? The environment was totally different. There was nothing in that environment that reminded her of her home. So my contention is that if you move the Alzheimer's patient from their home where there's lots of reasons for them to get frustrated and bring them in somewhere like this, they often do remarkably well. Certainly my mother did.
Once a doctor gave us excellent advice, which I would like to pass on. We struggled because my father was delusional. He has dementia. We tried to correct him. We continually tried to say, this is true, this isn't true. And the doctor said, you're not lying to him, jump in the delusion with him. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy going sailing with him. My father is at the Knoll and he believes he's working every day, and we go along with that. And we enjoy that moment of him working and listen to what he has to say about his day. And we just jump in the delusion. And we've gotten along much better since.
My words of wisdom would be that if you have a family member or a loved one that you see is experiencing mild cognitive impairment, or you think might be, you know, headed in that direction, don't be in denial about it, you know, because you can have them, take them to the doctor, have an evaluation done, because I think that even though doctors don't always agree as to how effective the medications are, I think most of them do agree that if you get to it earlier, it slows, and start doing things to help earlier, it does slow the progression of dementia. There are exercises and things that you can do to stimulate their brains, to exercise their brains. There are foods that you eat that are better for your brain than other foods, and so I think if you know those kind of things and pay attention to them, I think it really helps.
I was feeling so guilty, like, oh, I'm going to put her away in a place, and what I realized was I wasn't putting her away in a place, I was protecting her. It felt like the biggest decision of my life, and I didn't know how to do any of it. Regency Park Oak Knoll provides a support group. That was the part that was really invaluable. To be able to talk with other people who say, you know, yeah, I'm scared too, or I'm confused about this, or it was just like-minded people. I didn't feel quite as lost when I knew that there were other people that were going through it.
The thing I would most like to pass on to new families is that the people at Regency Park Oak Knoll are really dedicated to making the transition for your loved one easier. All you need to do is ask, and someone will give you the answers and supply you with whatever it is that you need to make that transition more successful.
The hardest part of the transition of moving my father from the home in Northern California to this location was honestly moving his belongings. It went so smoothly. He moved in, jumped into the activities, and honestly I think that it's harder on the family members than it is on the resident.